Hello and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to episode number 12 of High End Rollers TV. And with me, we have the beautiful Flo Bradley. And today is such an important interview because we're talking about mindset. We're talking about exactly how you and I, how we are to master our mindset to ensure that we are successful, that we are healthy, and that we are living the best life that we can live and having also the best business that we can have. So let's give a warm welcome to Flo Bradley.
Hey, Petra, and hey, audience. I hope you all are doing amazing today. I just want to acknowledge Petra for having this show and this platform because it's so important. There are so many people struggling emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and we're just excited to serve you today.
I'm just excited to speak to you. But let me, you've accomplished so much, so much in just a space of 5 years. And we're going to be going through that. But let me just give you just a teensy bit of what Flo has actually accomplished, okay? So her biggest accomplishments is her 2 children, okay? She has 2 beautiful children and she's a wife, okay? She's known as the Wealth and Lifestyle Transformational Coach, and for nearly 5 years, she's helped hundreds of people detox their mind, body, and transform their lives. And as the inspiration and mindset coach for the largest online bootcamp in the world, which she co-hosts on the live radio show with none other than Jonathan Roche. Can you believe that? Now, he is actually the renowned award-winning personal trainer, fitness expert, and best-selling author of the No Excuses Diet. And Flo also hosts a live weekly talk show for the same community, which is called All Fired Up with Flo. So it's an honor for us to have you today. And so listen, let's literally dive in about the mindset, because in order to have a successful business, to make it as an entrepreneur, it's all about the mind. It starts with the mind first. The good book says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So share with us, Flo, just a bit about your background and, how you help people. And then we can literally dive in to some techniques on how we can master our mindsets in order to have success.
Well, awesome, Petra. And again, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to just share some nuggets and some wisdom with the audience today. Just as far as my own story, we're going to start there. And I think it's a great place to start because I think a lot of people will look at what you just shared and other components of a life that they see pieces of presented and say, wow, they have it all together. But it didn't start out that way. I grew up in an abusive household. My dad was a drug addict. I suffered and was challenged in school. I actually stayed back in school. And it was a teacher that said, she looked at some of my writings and she said, you can actually write. And she was the first person that gave me a glimmer of hope. Wow. And fast forward, ended up going to Boston University. And that's one of the best communication schools in the nation. And I went on, married my husband, had a lot of successes in life, but I still had that kind of ego block, and ego stands for edging God out, where I felt like I had to prove myself all the time. And I'm sure some of you, yourself included, can relate to that. But it wasn't until I did this deep spiritual work on myself that I realized that your mind is both a trap and a gift. And if you really kind of go inside, that's why the show is called Fired Up with Flo, realize that you're brilliant already and there's nothing wrong with you. You can just thrive. And so that's where it was my beginnings. And it was really just this long, deep spiritual journey that I've developed into the person that I am today.
Brilliant. And I love that you talked about, you briefly mentioned about the ego there as well, because I remember that in our conversations that I think you wanted to be a lawyer? I think you mentioned, but then you wanted to be a lawyer for other people and not for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I live in Atlanta. And I remember going to the law school admission council. It's one of the steps that you need to become a lawyer. You need to go to this forum. And I remember going to this place called Buckhead, and there it was like probably Buckingham Palace. Obviously I don't have the awesome, beautiful accent as Petra. I'm from the States. I've actually joked. I was like, Petra, can you raise my children? I want them to have really.
I remember that. I remember you said that. Yeah.
But anyway, so I remember seeing these beautiful houses, and I was thinking, wow, these people probably are lawyers. And I wanted what came along with being a lawyer, which was chasing down the money. But I realized that was something that I really didn't want to do. It was a means to an end. What I wanted to create was a life. And I kind of did it, what I thought was the correct road is you get a high paying job, and then you go and you take those steps instead of going inside and saying, okay, what am I really passionate about? And if it's chasing down money, that's the wrong thing.
So true. Yeah. So tell us about you said that they said that the mind is a trap. Explain that and tell us more about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you notice, Petra, people talk about two things. This is actually from one of my mentors. He says that they talk about how bad it is and how bad it's going to get. So there's a reason for that. And it's really how we're wired and our brain is wired. If you think back 10,000 years ago when we were hunters and gatherers, there's something called carrot stick syndrome. So in order to get our carrots, which were food, we had to leave our tribes and avoid a lot of sticks, which were other tribes, could be a predator out there trying to eat us. And so over time, we've developed this propensity to notice the negative. It's our reptilian brain.
Yeah.
And so even though when you're going to Whole Foods or wherever you get your food to get your carrots, you don't have to worry about something like taking out your throat. You're wired that way because your ancestors, my ancestors, came from this long line of professional stick avoiders.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, it's a trap. It's a gift too, because it's important to be able to recognize the negative, but we're wired that way. So that's what I mean by being a trap. It's a trap for our survival. It's just how we are developed. But because we're so conscious of that negative, you honestly have to reprogram and hammer your subconscious mind with a new almost blueprint to get rid of that wiring, that hard wiring that's in our DNA.
That's really.
And I show people how to do that, and I have tools that I can go into if you'd like.
Oh, really? Yeah, definitely go into them. Absolutely, yeah, we're going to go into them today. But you're really, really right that we are. I don't know how or why, but we are wired to see the negative first.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was starting my business, because the way I started my business, I literally made the decision to start my business in the June of 2013. I started my first t-shirt printing business in July. I left my job I sold my 2 t-shirts of £36 on the 13th of July. And on the same Friday, I left my job because I was determined to be an entrepreneur and I knew it was going to work. But immediately when I told people that I'd done that, what did they say? They said, what if it doesn't work? Oh my God, you're crazy. You need a safety net. All of these things, because people, we are wired to see the negative first. So yes, and that is a trap, but you don't have to stay in that trap. So share with us the gift now, the opposite, the gift. And then we can go into the tools of how we can actually have a healthy mindset as well, because I know that you help people with their bodily health and also your mind health as well. So we can go into that a bit later on as well.
Yeah, and Petra, I mean, you're absolutely brilliant, and there's a clue in what you just said when you said you just quit your job. And I'm not a big believer actually in just completely quitting your job. Jim Rohn says work full-time on your job, part-time on your future. But the thing that trumps all of that is grit and belief.
Grit and belief, yeah.
Grit and belief. So you knew that you were going to be successful. And there's this magic in belief. And you didn't really need other people to talk you out of it because it was already reprogrammed in your brain.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where that comes from, but I can give you clues on how to rediscover that in yourself and make that mind a gift. It is really going back into your history. So Brendon Burchard is brilliant. He wrote The Charge. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. I think you are.
I am. I've got his book, yeah.
Nice. I've taken some stuff with him. He has you go through, and I do this with my clients. I have them go through a history of their wins, right? So a lot of times people think they can't do something and they stay lost in fear. Fear, you've heard the acronym, false evidence appearing real, right? One of my friends, and she's brilliant and awesome. She's a 3-time cancer survivor. She flipped it on its head. I know. Amazing lady. So strong, so powerful, such a thriver. And she says it's actually forgetting all available resources. And that most important resources is that you've already had so many wins, right?
Yes.
So we just need to remember those. So I have people list out from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, and I recommend people doing this, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, and then 25 to 30, and then beyond, 3 to 5 wins that they had. So 0 to 5, well, did you crawl? Did you stop eating the crayons? Like my kid is in kindergarten. I'm so proud of him. He's graduated from not eating crayons anymore. That's awesome.
So are these wins that you write down, these are daily wins?
They could be daily wins. They're just wins in your life. And so you really want a history of everything that you've accomplished. And why is that? Because you want to impress upon your subconscious brain, that limbic system that never forgets anything. You want to impress upon that you already are successful because your voice believes you. Your voice believes you. So if you're telling yourself, okay, I just started this t-shirt company, I can't do this. Well, guess what? Whether you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. I mean, that's Henry Ford, but it's absolutely true.
That is true, yeah.
But if you tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to burn the bridges. I'm not going to have this job that's soul-sucking and I don't enjoy and love, and I'm going to put my all into this, and it's going to work come hell or high waters, or we're going to die. I mean, that's belief, okay? But you can develop that by your past. And so it's funny that we're talking about this right now, because you can actually, these are little flashcards that I have little wins on. And then you can just flash these while you're waiting in line for something, the dentist or whatever. I don't know, across the pond if it takes forever for your dentist to see you, but it takes mine.
It does.
Actually, my dentist is great. It's my doctor. She always has a backup. But yeah, so as you're doing your daily to-dos, just remember who you already are.
Yes, right? I love that. And I love that you've taken out those little cards, because I think it's good to write those down and keep them in your purse, keep them in your wallet, and just read them when you're in the car. Well, not while you're driving, but as you say, it's just to remind yourself that you are awesome. And, if you've been watching this show, I always say that I believe that every single human being was born with an answer to a very specific problem. You're born with gifts and talents, but a lot of the time we don't see them. And that's why I really wanted Flo on here today, Flo, for you to share with us how we can sort of detox that mind and, revive the gifts that we actually are in us as well. Yeah, it's really important.
I love that, Petra, what you just shared there too. That's so brilliant. Petra's brilliant, guys. You really, really are. But we do have this divine gift. All of us do. And how we can really harness that is, a lot of times I talked about the clues and I talked about kind of going backward. Well, a lot of times people come to me because they're hot messes. So just like the fear, I took mess and I shifted it, because a lot of times it's really just a shift in what you think is not a gift. Your messes can actually move you forward. Yeah. So I actually use that acronym. So if people want to take a handy dandy pen out, and I'm using mess as the momentum to move you forward. So if you want to write this out, it's MESS stands for, and it's actually MESS in 3D. So M stands for movement, and I'll drill down into each of these pieces, but the first M stands for movement, okay? The second one stands for eat, what you fuel your body with, and that includes what you drink as well, and then what you don't eat, okay? Second, the first of the 3D S's stands for sleep, believe it or not. That's a super powerful tool that a lot of people don't get enough of, and it's really one of the challenges. I actually call all of this funding the mental, because they're all kind of fundamentals for moving you forward. So the sleep piece is very important. The second S to that stands for the spirit, what you're fueling your soul with. Yeah. You mentioned, do you write out these gifts every day? Gratitude's one of them, but we'll go into them if we have time. And then the last S is service. And I'm going to let that land, because we're not here just for ourselves. No. Petra is here to serve you all, right? I am here to serve you all. Who else wins when you actually rise to who you know you can rise to be, to when you become the best you, right? Who else wins? It's not just about you. We're on the planet for a spiritual experience with other spiritual, loving, giving, amazing, light-filled people.
Oh my God. I just love that. I love that. It's just brilliant. I love your acronyms. It's fantastic. So give us a little breakdown of the mess then, because me myself, I'm literally going to watch this video and write this down myself again. But just give us a little, give us some more about the mess.
So the funding the mental with the mess and with movement. Okay, so movement is so important. I don't mean just exercise. I mean actually physically getting up and getting out there. Why just movement in general? Well, sometimes people have this dysfunctional relationship with exercise. So I hate that word. And just doing something like this and just getting up, getting up. Sometimes when I'm doing the radio show, and actually a lot of times, both of us are walking around as we're helping other people. And so we're moving. So we used to move back in the day just to eat 10 to 15 miles a day, just to get something to eat, right? Yes. And I mean 10,000 years ago, even when our parents, I used to walk to school, and the school, I think it was like over a mile.
So did I, yeah. I used to walk to school. And nowadays, kids get driven to school, don't they?
Oh, we live in this golf cart community. People will literally cart their kids, not even a block. It's on the same street. They'll cart them from the top of the street to the bottom to catch the bus right outside my window.
Oh my God, you're joking.
I'm not kidding you. It is nuts. So sitting is the new smoking. And what's the problem with that? Well, not only is there a problem in your body, but if you're talking about the mindset, did you know movement actually helps grow your frontal lobe, helps grow your brain, and helps your creativity? If you look at the neuroscience around that, Spark, which I actually have here too, it's one of my favorite books. It's by John Rady, and he's a professor out of Harvard. And he looked at exercise at this performing high school, actually this performing high performance district in Chicago. And these kids, they weren't obese. Nobody was obese in the whole school district of 19,000 people. And that's very odd in America, where unfortunately, we have challenges with that.
Yes, you do. We're in the UK, but we get in there as well.
Okay. I think we McDonaldized your nation probably a little bit. So sorry. Sorry for that export. The other thing that we do, or just with this particular school is, the U.S. also is behind in the international performances. And this school is like second in math and ninth in science. And I might be getting the numbers right, but they're pretty high. They're a lot higher than anyone on a global basis. And they're very, very much invested in their exercise program. So movement is so important. Okay. Eating. Okay. Obviously that goes without saying. If you don't eat well, you're not going to want to move, right? Yeah. So it's a self-compounding effect. You're going to be lethargic. You're going to want to just sit down on the couch, drink a bunch of wine if you're not feeling your body. calories in, calories out. There's junk calories. So you want to be able to put the best nutrition in your body. And I actually have a resource for that. So if you guys decide to connect with me, I can help you with that nutritional piece.
Yeah, I'll put the link below. But we're only on M and E, and movement and eating. And this is really, really important. I mean, even for me, I've had to step up my exercise game and start to move more in my own business, because the more that I started to serve more clients,
yes,
I was finding that I was becoming really, really tired. Okay, so I literally had to, let's say, you know, I need to start to exercise, you know, to move right, to move more, to eat well, just so that I could serve my clients, and just so that I've got the energy to do these videos as well, because, you know, it's really important, you know, in order to maintain your health and your energy and stay vibrant as well. So let's go on to S. We've got the 2 S's now, haven't we?
Yes. So 3. So sleeping.
Yes.
Sleeping's so important. And okay, so if you don't get enough sleep, you're a mess. That's actually one of the biggest things that you need to do is get enough sleep. One, you were talking about being a business person and being able to serve a lot of clients. Well, memory, your short-term memory, your hippocampus, has your short-term memory. Yes. It doesn't get into your long-term memory unless you get that 8 hours of sleep. So if you're trying to remember anything, everyone's always like, how can you remember everything? Well, I get my sleep, right? I get my sleep. I don't care what's going on. I will not go onto Facebook. I do Facebook all the time. I don't know what's going on at 10 o'clock at night.
Did you say waste book?
Yeah.
I love that. Hashtag waste book.
You know, like people will say, hey, I messaged you. Oh, well, I'm asleep, because you have to get it. Okay.
Yeah.
It controls everything from your cravings. So if you can just get even 7 hours of sleep, you're going to have, if you don't get that, if you get like 6 hours, you're going to have a lack of leptin in your brain, which leptin is a molecule that makes you, you know, you'll crave sugary foods. So you'll wake up.
Interesting.
Yes. So you are a chemistry experiment. So everything is linked to what you feel your body, to the sun. I mean, there's photoreceptors in your skin. So, you know, there's some tools for getting better sleep, like having a completely dark room. If you have any type of light on, you're not producing melatonin in your body. It's going to cause probably cancer. You know, there's 1 in 2 people that will get cancer. One of it's because of a lack of sleep and the food, but sleep is just so important. And it's, again, these are compounding things. If you do not get enough sleep, you're not going to get good exercise. Again, you're going to start eating poorly because you're going to crave those sugary, nasty foods, the high carbs, donuts, things like that. You're not going to starve and fuel your body. And then you're not going to thrive throughout the day because you're not going to have the brain capacity to execute. So that's why these are funding the mental. And then the spirit, you know, things are still good, right? No matter what's going on, there's always something to have a blessing in. And I was just doing, and I don't think I have it in here. I was actually talking to a client yesterday, and I thought I still had it here, but I don't. But I have this best moment ever rock, and I got it from this technique from The Magic.
Okay.
By Rhonda Byrne. I love it because it searches you to search for what's amazing today. This same client last week lost the last of her aunties. Her dad died a few months ago.
Oh.
Her other uncle died, and then her same family, 3 people, boom, 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 passed away, all of them. And she still was searching for the best thing ever. She got to connect with her cousins. And this will segue into the last S, which is service. She said, I got to serve my cousins because I knew what it was like to lose a parent, and they hadn't, and I was able to be there for them. So that's the other thing about being so in touch with your mindset. Again, it's not about just you. And that's a perfect example, because guess what? Things are sometimes bad. Bad things happen, and it's okay to feel that, but you can't stay there. And how do you get out of that kind of quickly? Well, feel it. Sure, grieve if you have to, because it's important to grieve. You wouldn't be a loving, giving person if you didn't, if you have a tragedy in your life and you didn't acknowledge that and say, well, I need to be happy right now. No, you'd be pissed off, be angry, but still find, you know, either a blessing in that, or how you can give, or how you can serve, and how you can show up every day.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. There's a wealth of you've just given us a wealth of information there that we need to kind of start to implement in our own lives.
Mhm.
So how do you work with your clients then? Just so we know where we can find you online as well.
Yeah, well, a great way to start if you want to just kind of have access to me, you can work through the online bootcamp hub. I do that live coaching show. I do Q&A. You can also look for me with flobradley.com, although there's not an opt-in there. So if you want to work, because I said that I have a resource for the eating piece and the nutrition piece. Unfortunately, I don't serve for that program that I'm attached to. I don't serve England or London, or I don't serve that area. If you're in the States or anything like that.
We have a really big statewide global audience. That's fine.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so there will probably be a link to Welcome to I Am Kaizen. That's probably the best place. That's my community that I serve, and actually anybody can be a part of that. Because inspiration, motivation. I do tips on eating well, all in there, and that's all free. And then if people want to work with me privately, just Facebook me, to be honest, and just reach out. That's probably the easiest right now. I'm a big Facebooker. Yeah.
So basically, she'll answer your Facebook when she's not sleeping.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for that. I knew that you were the perfect person to come on and speak to us all about mindset. So I'm going to ask you one more question, and that question is, are you ready to roll, Flo?
I'm ready to roll.
Okay, I haven't had a rolling dance before, but I can work with that. So share with us. I mean, I know that you are a massive reader, but what is your favorite book, or should I say right now, or of all time?
Oh my gosh. I love The Alchemist. I just love the story behind that. So that's one of my favorite books, of course. If people aren't familiar with it, it's just the journey is about you go on this journey, but you already have what you need right there. So you go on the journey to find what you already have. It's just a beautiful story. Goodness, there's so many brilliant, amazing books.
So that one's your absolute favorite, yeah?
I would say it's my favorite for just a mindset book, because it's actually not a teaching book, but it is a teaching book. It's a story, and I love parables. So we learn a lot through stories, and I think it's always stayed with me. Yeah, that's my favorite of all time. I'm loving.
What is your weakness as an entrepreneur?
Oh my goodness, I love to just play. So as an entrepreneur, I am very focused on the clients that I currently have. But because I'm such a balanced life person, I don't chase money. I chase lifestyle. Sometimes I'm not as aggressive as people as trying to attract new clients to myself. In fact, I might be going to Key West in a couple of days. That just happened. I just like to explore life a lot. So sometimes that can be tough if somebody wants to work with me directly, because I love the adventures of my life.
Yes. In fact, what you haven't mentioned is that you travel an awful lot.
I do.
And you've also bought your dream house as well. It's really important for you to know that Flo is a high-end roller, okay? She lives in a very high-end community and bought her dream house. Okay.
Yeah. And with that too, I'm also have a nonprofit that I co-created with a bunch of other leaders in an underserved area that really empowers students. That's actually one of my passions, is to be able to do that. So I wasn't a high-end roller when I was doing that. So just so you know, you don't have to wait to make an impact with people's lives. Just find there's a challenge and say, I'm committed to changing this.
Brilliant. So what is your strength then as an entrepreneur?
My strength is seeing the invisible, right? So a lot of times people see with their eyes. I see what's possible. And I know that seems kind of cliche, but I really absolutely do. If there's something that I want to create, I just go ahead and say, okay, I want to do that. Just like that school, people would say, how are you going to be able to do this? You just believe that you can do it. And then it goes back to the power of belief. So that's a huge strength of mine, is being able to see the invisible.
Brilliant. And what's your favorite quote?
Oh my goodness. Actually, my favorite quote is actually an affirmation, which comes from Charles Hannell. And it's from the Master Key System, which is, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Favorite of all time. I use it all the time. And it's helped me qualify for the Boston Marathons.
And I think we're going to leave it on that note, because that quote is a perfect ending to our, to this show today. I think it's perfect. I'm going to put all of your links below, so you can absolutely connect with Flo, and be sure to do so, because Flo does videos on a regular basis. Not just Flo, her daughter as well. Her daughter has taught me a thing or two about being an entrepreneur. And how old is she? She's like 8 or something?
She's 10. She's just tiny. But yeah, girlfriend has taught me some stuff too. I don't know. She's got some wisdom bombs going on.
She does have wisdom bombs. I mean, I've shared a few of her videos on my page. She's like completely blown me away. So be sure to add Flo to your Facebook, and her daughter as well, and connect with her. So thank you so much, Flo, for today. It's just been an honor to have you.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm honored to have been here, Petra. Thank you for asking me.
And what I want you to do as well, I want you to give us the thumbs up, okay? And make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I interview top level entrepreneurs every single Monday, okay? And also, don't be shy, leave a comment below and let me know what are your biggest takeaways. For me, I think it was definitely the mess, okay? So let me know what's your biggest takeaway, and I'm going to see you in the next episode, okay? Bye-bye.